Hello, this is Dr. Mary Kay Bacallao with Education in Georgia. This is part 3, where we are talking about the relationship between locally elected school board officials, the accreditation agencies, the Professional Standards Commission, and parents. Last time we left off, and we found that there might be a conflict of interest for Mr. Phil Jacobs. He's trying to make sure, as co-chair of the task force that rewrote standards for Georgia school board members, that boards focus on accreditation. But since he's the chairman of the Board of Trustees at Advanced Ed, the company that acquired the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, it seems fitting that he would make sure that standards for local Board of Education members included maintaining accreditation. Mr. Phil Jacobs also included hiring a qualified superintendent in the standards for school board members. Of course, that is very important, and who makes sure that the superintendent is qualified? Well, Mr. Phil Jacobs does that too. As a commissioner on the Georgia Professional Standards Commission, the organization that certifies teachers and superintendents in Georgia. There are also other possibilities that need to be considered. To make sure that they would be able to craft the right standards for local Board of Education members, the founding president and chief executive officer at Advanced Ed, which was formerly SACS, Dr. Mark Elgert, was chosen to serve on the task force, co-chaired by Mr. Phil Jacobs, the chairman of the Board of Trustees of Advanced Ed, to write the Georgia standards for local Board of Education members. Dr. Mark Elgert is listed under educational organizations, and Mr. Phil Jacobs, the chairman of the Board of Trustees of Advanced Ed and an appointed member of the Georgia's Professional Standards Commission, was listed under civic and business organizations. Steve Dolinger, who is also the president of the Georgia Partnership for Excellence in Education, served on the task force to dictate standards for local Board of Education members. On Steve Dolinger's Georgia Partnership for Excellence in Education website, you will find interesting articles about important topics such as holding school boards accountable. School boards are elected locally by the parents and community members they serve. They are elected directly and are accountable directly to the voters. Who else are they supposed to be accountable to? Who is Steve Dolinger of the Georgia Partnership for Excellence in Education accountable to? Georgia Partnership for Excellence in Education, unaccountable to voters. Partnered with Advanced Ed, also unaccountable to voters. And the Metro Georgia Chambers of Commerce, unaccountable to voters. To hold school boards accountable, they wrote new standards for local boards of education that effectively limited their authority. The website does not mention the names of any elected officials serving on the task force, but recommends that legislators do the following. In terms of accountability, they can allow boards to self-govern, but only if it's successful. If board members fail to perform, something must be done. The Code of Ethics and Conflict of Interest policy was written and passed. School board members have new roles and responsibilities. The main responsibility of the school board member is to hire the superintendent. Training and proficiency. School board members are required by state law to receive training from the Georgia School Boards Association, which is a privately run organization. Here we see Steve Dolinger, also task force member and president of the Georgia Partnership for Excellence in Education, at a pro-Common Core rally. The day before, a group of activists held a Stop Common Core rally. Notice that the Stop Common Core rally was filled with students and parents and school board members and other activists who are trying to get control of their educational system back. But Steve Dolinger can be found at the pro-Common Core rally. Also, He's the member of the Georgia Partnership for Excellence, president of the Georgia Partnership for Excellence in Education. The former chair of the board of directors of the Georgia Partnership for Excellence in Education is none other than Mr. Phil Jacobs, as we learned before, who also serves as the chair of the Board of Trustees of Advanced Ed, the co-chair of the task force that wrote the Georgia Standards, and a commissioner on the Georgia Professional Standards Commission, the organization that certifies teachers in the state of Georgia. Where does he find the time to found his own business, Pendleton Consulting Group? The Professional Standards Commission recently signed a contract with Pearson that requires students seeking certification to pay a $300 fee to Pearson. But what do we really know about Pearson? The Sovereign Fund of Libya invested enough to own 3.27% of Pearson, a $9 billion company out of the United Kingdom. These are just some of the textbook companies that Pearson owns. Prentice Hall, Scott Forsman, Allen & Bacon, Addison Wesley Longman, Macmillan USA, Adobe Press, National Computer Systems, Learning Network, Lesson Lab, the Forum Corporation. Pearson is a producer of the tests, the test prep materials, and the print and electronic resources associated with Common Core. Georgia's tests are printed in Missouri, paid for by Pearson. Interestingly enough, Dr. Mark Elgart, founding president and chief executive officer of Advanced Ed, represents Advanced Ed as a lead business partner with the Council of Chief State School Officers. The Council of Chief State School Officers is a private trade organization that works with the National Governors Association, also a private trade organization, to develop the Common Core. They hold the copyright. And here's a copy of the copyright. They hold the copyright on the Common Core standards. The copyright policies may change at any time. Notice in the copyright the emphasis is on adopting the Common Core state standards in whole. It says that the states and territories of the United States, as well as the District of Columbia, that have adopted the Common Core state standards in whole are exempt from this provision of the license. The copyright is owned by the NGA and the CCSSO. Do we trust a privately run accreditation agency that serves all 50 states and 65 foreign countries, aligned with a private organization that has copyrighted national standards, but has contracted out services with Pearson, a company based in the United Kingdom and owned by foreign investors? Common Core is the tip of the iceberg. Since I'm a professor of mathematics and science education at Mercer University, the first thing I noticed was that the new math standards were subpar. From there I created an objective spreadsheet to show what was lost when we adopted Common Core. If you scroll down on this website, you can see and download the comparison of the NCTM standards, our former Georgia Performance Standards, the Common Core, and the international standards. And you can look line by line at every content area and see for yourself how far behind we are. As a member of the Fayette County Board of Education, I advocated for higher standards. That's how I found out that school board members have no say in standards or testing. Along the way, I have met so many wonderful people. They shared their knowledge with me, and so I'm sharing what I have learned with you. We are compiling information to share with others on the Educational Freedom Coalition website. I started in my own community, just listening to parents as they complained about the new standards and related testing requirements. Then I realized that all the decisions were made at another level. I gave a copy of the math standards to our Georgia State Superintendent of Schools and advised him to read them before an upcoming forum. I found when I asked him if he read them, he hadn't. And after giving them several copies, I realized that they weren't listening to us. And as I wrap up this part 3 of Education in Georgia, I would like to say thank you so much to all of you who are paying attention, who care about education, who care about your kids, who care about everybody's kids. And let's keep working together. In my next video, I'll outline some steps that we can take to take our education back and to get Georgia going in the right direction again. Again, this is Education in Georgia Part 3 with Dr. Mary Kay Bacallao. I hope you'll join me for Part 4 when we talk about the solutions. Thank you, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.